Hi, how are you doing? My name is Rohit and I'll be breaking down the 64th match of this year's IPL, which saw the Delhi Capitals take on the Lucknow Super Giants in the Arun Jaitley Stadium in Delhi. And now you're thinking, wait, match 64? What happened to match 63? Well, match 63 got rained out. KKR and GT both split the points in that game. KKR gets a guaranteed top two spot, and GT is officially unfortunately eliminated. Moving on. Well, DC wins this one by 19 runs, and unfortunately, given the way things are shaking out, this was practically a death sentence for both teams. DC requires too many things to go right, and they need too many objectively, absolutely ridiculous margins of defeat for the teams in question, being SRH and CSK. If those happen, only then can DC make the playoffs. But CSK and SRH both have way too high of net run rates to where I don't think any margin of defeat can actually pull them all the way down. So it's been an impressive campaign. It's been an impressive resurrection, but too little, too late. DC's done. Same goes for LSG. Their net run rate took an absolute nosedive after that shellacking against SRH a couple of weeks ago. And yeah, looking back, that might have been it because LSG really needed this win, and then they really needed to win against the Mumbai Indians, maybe get to 16 points, and maybe, just maybe, that would have been enough if a couple of the results went their way, but only a maximum of 14 points and an absolute poor net run rate. Well, I think you know the rest. They're essentially done, but they're technically not officially eliminated yet, so one can dream, I guess. But, again, realistically, both of these teams are done. It would require the miracle to end all miracles, and this is not an Avengers movie. Doctor Strange does not see a scenario where either of these teams makes it to the playoffs. But in terms of the actual game, do you remember the RCB-DC match from this weekend? Well, that's basically what happened. LSG had a very winnable chase, just like DC did against RCB, but they completely messed it up because of absolute batting application errors. Of their top 6, 5 of them faced 10 balls or less, and of those 5, only one of them, Quinton de Kock, scored more than 10. Every single one of them only scored in the single digits, with Deepak Hooda scoring a 2-ball duck, 0 runs. When you have that, and you're chasing 208, that is a death sentence for your chase right there. I mean, here's the thing. Nicholas Puran did his best. Very quick fire 61. Strike rate of over 200. And then, as a surprise, Ashad Khan, who had a solid day with the ball, surprised everybody, scoring his maiden T20 50, 58 from 33, finishing unbeaten. He gave that LSG innings a very, very dim glimmer of hope. And while Ashad was there, you look at the required run rate for the rest of the chase. It was very manageable. At a certain point, it was only, 60 from 24? So that's 15 runs and over. We've seen that plenty of times, just this year alone. And he had a massive 16th over, so it came down to 42 from 18. Again, 14 runs and over in the last 3. That's a pretty big advantage for the batting side. But LSG just ran out of batters because of poor application, already being 4 down in the power play, and just having zero idea what they were doing, what they were looking at. Absolute poor, just cricketing application. And these are experienced players. Quinton de Kock has a plethora of international experience. So does KL Rahul. And so does Marcus Stoinis. These guys are international match winners. And this is a match that LSG needed, absolutely needed, to keep their season alive. And these proven match winners ended up becoming proven match losers. That's simply the way it goes. And when you lose 3 high-quality players like that, you're really just not going to win games. And guess what? LSG didn't win. They just dug themselves in too much of a hole made a mountain out of a molehill, and they just gave themselves too much of an uphill battle to win. This was a defeat of their own making, and it is a microcosm of their entire season. Unforced, self-inflicted errors. That's all there is to it. And honestly, the same goes for DC. And those unforced errors, it was in the field again. Multiple drop catches. Jake Frazier-McGurk was probably the only reason why LSG thought they had some hope in this chase, because early on, Arshad Khan just gently pulled one away, couldn't get any power or timing on it, and square leg, Frazier-McGurk is right there. That ball landed softly in his hands, and he dropped it. Adding that to his 2-ball duck in the first innings, he did not have a good day at the office, but he did make up for it with a beautiful, beautiful run out. Absolutely just nailing the stumps to get rid of Ravi Bishnoi. But again, at that point, it's a tail ender, so yes, it's a wicket, but with Arshad Khan still retaining strike and he's still going good, it doesn't really matter. He was a danger man. Even if you take wickets at the other end, if the strike still goes back to the danger man, ultimately, nothing really happens. But in terms of Delhi's innings, I'm just going to gloss over this because ultimately the real important thing of this match was LSG's absolute incompetence. But for Delhi's innings, it was Abhishek Patel at the top and then Tristan Stubbs at the back end. That's all there was to it, with supporting acts from Shai Hope and Rishabh Pant. Abhishek Patel starts things off very positively, 58 from 33, and getting to his half century really early. Things tapered off from there, as did the Delhi innings, and after a while it looked like they were not even going to get to 200. Enter Tristan Stubbs. Enter the finisher that Delhi's been looking for. 57 from 25. Incredible hitting of the ball, incredible strike rate, and he took this Delhi team from looking at a 180, 190 score to 208. And here's the thing with Delhi, right? They started at 2 runs a ball in the power play, finishing with 72. After a certain point, that run rate just kept going down from 12 to 11 to 10, and they got as low as 9.1 or something, almost below 9s. If Tristan Stubbs doesn't do what he does, we're probably looking at a 175, 180 chase, and that changes the complexity of the match, and it changes LSG's approach. Maybe LSG just changes the way they think. They probably win that. The player of the match was Ishant Sharma for a very economical threefer, but I honestly would have given it to Tristan Stubbs. And yes, I'm someone who sympathizes with bowlers a lot, especially this season when they just get carded all over. But this was one of those matches where I think a batter actually had more of an impact. If it wasn't for Tristan Stubbs' just quick runs, that changes the psychological aspect of this match. That changes the approach that LSG has. That changes the way even the Delhi bowlers approach how they play. So many things would have changed had that total been anything less than 200. But I'm still happy Bowler got credit because, as Arshad Khan showed, this was a chaseable total. And if it wasn't for Ishant Sharma taking those early wickets and coming back and bowling economical overs, LSG could have won this pretty handily. So you kind of just see how both teams kind of made a mess of it, and one team just kind of found a way to put out a fire that they started. So it was both entertaining and infuriating, but you could say that for both of these teams for their seasons as a whole, entertaining and infuriating. And it kind of just shows. With that, thank you so much for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe. And hold on to your hats, folks, because we are nowhere near done with this group stage. We still got a lot to sort through, and we still got a lot of playoff spots to really just wrap up. So with that, I'll see you guys for the next one. Have a good one.